Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, our new intro has ray tracing.
Ooh, cool. KZ Excellent.
I'm optimistic about things.
And Mr. Feel.
Jetpacks and butlers, here I come.
Here on GigaBoots.
Gentlemen, I realized a shortcoming of our arsenal of retro equipment.
God.
We don't have a good Saturn controller, or at least two good Saturn controllers, and there is no good Dreamcast controller, so we got controller adapters.
Cool.
You're just going to buy something every week until you're dead.
Hopefully not. I mean, I went most of last year not buying shit. Just sat down and went, guess I'll wait to die. But anyway, we got these really good Brook wireless adapters that let us use DualShock 4, Xbox, and the DualSense, and the Switch Pro, I guess if you're insane, on the Saturn and Dreamcast. It is really tight because there are a number of awesome 2D fighters on the Dreamcast, but that controller is so bad.
Yeah, it's one of the worst D-pads maybe ever.
Like, you can go and watch the weekly beating for Guilty Gear X, which is us trying to do a 2D fighter on that controller, and we're just unhappy the whole time.
You're just going to dig a hole through your hands playing Marvel 2.
It's bad because I would rather deal with a controller that, like, you know, like the original Genesis controller digs up your D-pad, your thumb from using the D-pad. That thing does that, but also feels hollow. It's so hard to describe how bad the D-pad is on the Dreamcast. It's like, how would you, a play school D-pad? I don't know how to describe this thing. I genuinely think the original Duke controller is better for most games.
The Duke is one of the greatest controllers of all time.
That isn't true, but it is very cool.
That's all that matters, is if it's cool.
The Duke is cool because if someone breaks into your house, you can use it like a flail.
Yes. Yes, you can, and I did that once, but that's not important. What is important is this adapter is really, really great. One of the cool features, something I never would have thought of, and I'm glad they engineered it in because I wouldn't have thought of this being a shortcoming until it was too late. They integrated Dreamcast Storage straight into the fucker. So each of these controller adapters, these wireless controller adapters, has 200 blocks of memory on it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Yeah. One, I don't want to buy a VMU in 2021.
Yeah.
I think we have one. I actually don't know, really. I think we have one. And then we have Handsome Joe. So technically we have two, but that's not...
Right, that's not okay.
That's not ours. Oh, we don't have space. Time to erase his Sonic Adventure 1 100% file. From when is this, 2000? God.
You erase somebody's 20-year-old file and they start to disappear like Back to the Future.
Yes. Yeah, that is how it works, actually.
Instead of the photo, Marty McFly has like the PS1 memory card with his siblings' FF7 save.
Yeah, exactly. I overwrote my brother's Legend of Mana save and he disappeared. We also had like bad PS2 controllers. I think, Bob, you would agree that out of all of our PS2 controllers, which we have 6, maybe 7 in that bag, there's like one good one, and it's not great, it's just good.
Yeah, we have one good one, then one that feels good. It is like the best feeling controller we have, but it constantly pauses.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we picked up one wireless adapter for that to use DualShock 4s on it, and I'm sure down the road it'll also get the same update that these other adapters got to support the DualSense. Holy shit, what a glow up. Like, I did not realize how nice it would be to use these modern controllers on these older systems. But you just sit there, and when you're playing like PS2 and PS1, you just sort of deal with how it's not as nice of a controller because you're like, well, this is what it was. This is what I'm used to. But no, it's like, it's so nice to play like Ridge Racer Type 4 on a DualSense or a DualShock 4. You know, it's so nice to play Marvel versus Capcom 2 on a Dreamcast with the DualSense controller. Like, these are really good upgrades. It's a shame that they're as pricey as they are. They're about $40 each, which is why I only ordered one PlayStation 1, because it was only a problem for one player. But I feel like Bob's going to shank my ass if I get to keep playing, like, on the weekly beating or whatever with the DualShock 4, and he's stuck with a PS2 controller.
I mean, I can deal with it as long as it's that one that works.
Okay.
It'd be funny if it had to be the PS3 controller.
Yeah.
Funny if it was a Dreamcast controller.
Ugh.
Okay, Bob, we only ordered one adapter for the Dreamcast.
No, never.
You're doing this to me in my house.
And I'm like, your house full of my things.
And Bob goes, that's it, I'm going to Tops.
75-cent burgers.
Bob just becomes that Popeye character.
Eats it all in one gulp.
Popeye character, Brad Shoemaker. But yeah, no, this has been great. It has been amazing. We got a couple adapters for our Neo Geo, because the mod on that's getting finished right now. The guy who's modding it to fix the video and stuff put out tweets of the screen caps from it. It looks unreal how sharp it is. It looks like it's insanely well done software, like emulation, because of how sharp the pixels are. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. And then he goes, yeah, I was about to pack this up, but then I noticed, unlike what people online say, your revision, the 3.6 revision of the Neo Geo, it also has a problem the 3.5 has where your audio channels are swapped. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, your left channel's coming out of the right speaker and your right channel's coming out of the left speaker. Do you want me to fix that? Or can you rewire it in your setup? And I'm like, dude, there's no way. I'm going to forget every fucking time. Please, I'll pay you. Just fix it. Because there's no way I'm going to remember, okay, go into the OSSC, switch that shit, unplug these cables from the TV, plug them back in, and go to the fucking computer and swap the No way. I will forget. But so we got some of these brick adapters for that too. Main reason being, one, Neo Geo controllers in 2021 are busted, broken garbage. Two, they are expensive, busted, broken garbage. And literally everyone I talked to about this was like, you don't want to buy it for anything other than novelty. No one wants to own a Neo Geo controller as their primary input for this platform. It's so bad. I was like, that's a shame. Like in my brain, it's the arcade experience. They're like, well, in reality, it's the play school experience.
Yeah, I've always been more interested in that weird control pad they made for it.
Like that weird micro switch thing?
Yeah. But those are also probably just busted by now.
People seem to be skeptical that those are great. But here's the thing. These Brook adapters actually do have a USB on the front. There is a chance we can use like a good arcade stick for PS4 and it'll work on it. So if we want that experience, we can do that at least.
Right, yeah. Arcade sticks are still made, luckily.
For now. How post-APOC do you have to get before people just stop making arcade sticks entirely?
I don't know, man.
That's pretty post-apocalypse. But yeah, this shit's great. It's a shame it's so pricey, so people have to pick and choose. But let me tell you, using the Dreamcast's HDMI mod, which is the best mod in the entire retro scene, and a DualSense controller wirelessly, I'm like, this shit's magic. Like, it feels like you're playing on a modern platform, except for it's really, really responsive and it looks razor sharp. I'm so sad that these other consoles don't have video out options as good, and they can't because of how they're engineered. But yeah, anyway, testing those, doing some We Share Your Dreams stuff and other things. That's about all I've been playing over the last week.
You don't want to talk about Conker?
Who?
Okay, never mind.
Adam Sandler.
So, Bob, what have you been playing?
Jetpacks and butlers, here I come.
Oh, boy.
I got 15 more demos in, and
Luckily, that has ended. There's nothing like that happening this week that I know of. So you are saved.
I don't know. Those were some pretty good demos.
There were, yeah. Like Sands of Aura.
Still not a real name.
Yeah, that game that's fake.
You know, I keep making this thing up, but they keep buying it. But I played the PS5 port of Neo too.
Oh, the complete collection.
I also did a little bit of that earlier today.
Yeah, it looks real nice running at 120 frames per second. You can watch the Digital Foundry video to see the shortcomings of that and how it doesn't lock it. It'd be really nice if
they should
TVs
put fucking VRR in the PS5.
Yeah, they should put that thing in that they fucking promised 9 months or 8 months before it fucking launched.
Yep.
Stupid piece of shit that doesn't do the fucking
goddamn thing it's supposed to.
Also, the shadows can be kind of distracting because they pop in and out more during that mode, which honestly didn't bug me until I got to one stage where it's like, yeah, you're in this really thick bamboo forest and everything's just flickering on and off as you move.
I'm going to be honest, though. Looking at you playing that, that is what video games should look like.
Yeah, no, I definitely prefer that.
Stop making me salivate thinking about it. I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's so fucking smooth, man. God.
Yeah, 120.
Seeing these games run at 120, like I referenced this before, I played Halo 3 at 120 4K. Like, that's so much more impressive than ray tracing to me.
Yeah. It's really easy choice there, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad more TVs are adopting 120, including but not limited to Neo QLED, the Super Vegeta of the fucking TV world.
It sounds really cool. Is it good, Dan?
Oh, let me tell you how good it is, Bob. Neo QLED has 6 times the dimming zones of QLED, making it Neo QLED. Ignore the fact that it's 8.3 million short of OLED. Please ignore that. It has 6 times as many. That's all you need to worry about.
Ooh, that's good relatively.
Yes, relatively with certain constraints placed on it. It is quite good. Also, the Neo QLED from Samsung is cheaper than last year's TV. I don't have to explain this to you. There's a reason QLEDs keep getting cheaper and don't review as well. They're not as good. Anyways, Bob, what were you talking about?
I also tried the second DLC because I was waiting on this update for Neo 2 to happen for me to try that.
That one was for Goner, right?
No.
What's the name of the second DLC?
Darkness in the Capital, I believe.
Okay.
The very first level's like, here's a boss fight that's 100 times harder than anything else you played before, and I'm like,
oh no, it's already really hard.
This is a little rough. Maybe I'll go grind other places and hope that I get better. So I didn't beat that. I need to go back. The first you fight is really cool though. She looks like she's wearing an outfit from Otogi. And she does cooler sword moves than you get in the game, and it's kind of upsetting that you don't just get to play as her. So I also played Ys 9.
Oh,
Ys.
How was Ys 9? Monster cock.
That's Monstrum Nox, damn.
I'm sorry.
Very different.
Sorry.
Mingstrom nuts. All you want to do is just laugh at the name.
You've fused with the curse. We now must call you Super King Big Nuts.
This is my first time playing a modern Falcom game since the Vita version
of
Ys.
Celceta.
Now you understand how all of them play.
Yeah, they do some interesting things with movement and stuff in the game, but I wasn't ready for the cutscene where it's like, Steve, or should I call you?
Yeah, I know. The thing that's in every Trails game ever made.
Master of the Hieroglyph Knights.
Yeah, it's just Bleach.
Yeah, and then the person he's talking to is like, the interrogator, or should I call you? It's like, oh my god, why is this real?
You see me post and retweet that post over and over again.
Yeah.
Of fucking Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bradley? Or should I call you Paul Shit Ass?
Yes,
The commandant.
So that's a little rough. This game, man, I really miss the days when news stories kind of got out of the way of me playing the game. Their story constantly, like they constantly are stopping for cutscenes that are too long for their budget. Like the voice acting will come in and out at random, seemingly. Like beginning of the cutscene, no voices. New character shows up. They say 2 lines, then no voices again.
Well, you can't voice every line in a game that's 180 hours long, Bob.
Also, it feels kind of like it's 2 games literally stuck together. This is going to be minor spoilers for like the end of chapter 1 and 2. There seem to be 2 Adals. You have the one you're playing is normally who gets put in prison and then almost immediately escapes and gets stuck in an anime plot from the mid-aughts. And then you have the other one who's stuck in prison, and you flash to him once in a while to explore the prison, and it kind of feels like what the game I feel like was originally announced is, of being trapped in a prison.
This was also a thing in Ys 8, but it was a completely different character instead of Adol.
Weird. Yeah, no, like I was thinking maybe this isn't actually Adol, but he keeps, like, you get responses to things like, oh yeah, I'm an adventurer, and goes on like things that Adol would say. Like he references other games. So I don't know. It's very strange. But yeah, the other one, who the main part of the game, regular Adol, stuck in the anime plot, it's really weird. You go to no collateral damage dimension constantly, where it's, you know, animes like Shakugan no Shana,
Yes.
a bunch
where there's
of,
like the backyard where you fight.
yeah, you go to the alternate dimension that looks identical, but nothing actually can be affected in the real world. And they keep doing that, and it's kind of lame. And then you're like several times a chapter drugged to this tower defense area where you fight off waves of enemies.
That's also an 8.
Bob, when you tweeted
Made a
about
little-
this, and Feel was like, yeah, that's an 8. That was the most anyone has ever done to make me disinterested in playing an Ys game, including Sarlene being like, yeah, don't play Ys Tactics on the DS. It's terrible. And I'm like, oh, you think that'll stop me? But you just talking, yeah, there's tower defense in the middle of this. I'm like, nope. Okay.
Is it actual tower defense? Because Ys 8 doesn't have tower defense. It just has, monsters are attacking our camp. Come fight like 3 waves in this combat arena.
It's kind of like that, but you also get you get things to distract the monsters. Like there are these little towers they go attack, and you get a flare. You attack the flare, and it like stuns all the enemies for a minute. So it's really wave-based defense with a few enhancements.
Yeah, that's like a more simplistic version of that in Ys 8.
It really reminds me of Star Ocean 5 because for that one part, normally the game's like you get 3 characters, just 3. This one part, like all of the monstrums, so that's what 8 characters or something. Let me see.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Something like that.
6 characters all running around just attacking wildly. It's just kind of a mess. I also chose to play this on normal mode, something I shouldn't have done. This game is insane a level of pushover at normal mode. Like
it's like I'm just going to use my block that slows down time on every single hit because the active frames are like 40.
Right, you don't even need to do that though. I can just mash square and things are going to die pretty quickly. So I should have chosen hard mode, and now I feel like an idiot if I switch to hard mode, because if you try and switch, it's like, hey, then you don't get any trophies. I'm like, well, I want trophies.
So obviously you should replay the hours of the game you already played.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that. There's a lot of town exploration. What's up, Feel?
Luckily, they will run out of those tower defense segments fast, because I went and looked, and it's just like Ys 8, where it's like, do 3 right now. Now you're gonna have to do 1 every 6 hours, and then that's it. Because I looked it up, and there's like 10.
Oh yeah, every time you go to tower defense land, it plays this really poorly encoded quality video that's running terribly and looks really bad.
Good.
Is the main female character has been advertised. It was like the robot arm and leg. she fires a gun to this guy and talks some nonsense about the two moons, and it's very edgelord anime.
Good, that's what I want.
It's really strange. Again, this game really feels like it was two different games stapled together. Also, it does some weird stuff with NPC usage. I've been posting about on Twitter. So, an early side quest you go save a blacksmith and his two kids. They're somehow stuck in the alternate no collateral damage dimension. You go in, you get them out. But the dad's like, yeah, I was already dead. I've been dead forever, and this is just my ghost taking care of the kids. And he fades away. And then you just see him wandering around town because he's just the generic blacksmith NPC.
Now that bothers me because Ys 8 doesn't have this problem because every character in Ys 8 is completely unique because the conceit is you're shipwrecked on an island with like 30 people. They're all completely unique. There's no duplicates.
Yeah, I was impressed how many unique characters there are, but then you do something like that and it kind of ruins it.
Yeah, this sounds like the worst because other games like even the Trails game mostly avoid like there's tiers. There's like the generic NPCs. Then there's the slightly less generic NPCs that are still unique, but you can tell they're not important. That will be involved in side quests and stuff. And then you have the actual characters. But this sounds like they just didn't want to have that second tier that's kind of important to not be farcical.
Right, like that. Really, could you not have changed even one texture on him? Like, please.
Could you not have like made his hat blue, please?
Anything. And I should have known this would happen because he was in the cutscene where it's like, oh, there's voice acting. Why doesn't he have voice acting? Everyone else does.
Oh.
Yeah. This is such a weird grab bag of budget.
Yeah, I really wish someone would just be like, hey, here's some money. You have to use Unreal though. that should be like, here's $10 million to make your next game. Use Unreal 4.
I don't know, the Fire Engine's still pretty good.
They got their own new engine now. Maybe it'll be great. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it certainly makes much better looking cutscenes.
No, look, they need to switch to Unreal so that way Aoden can look like Aoden in this game and all the NPCs look like that MetaHuman Creator thing.
Oh my god.
Just hyper realistic humans with teeth.
Oh god, that's like when we're like, oh no, Mario Odyssey just has real people in it.
I swear some Square game is going to ship that's exactly like that at some point.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, remake part 2.
Yeah, probably. One of them joins your team. So it's just Cloud, Tifa, Aerith.
That's just how Vincent's gonna look.
Jesus.
He just looks homeless. Weird.
All right.
Like, I didn't ask for any of this.
That's everything I played. There's probably more I could say about Ys 9, but I don't know. I'm kind of tired talking about it. I probably will keep playing it, though.
So Bob and I played Conquer.
Yeah, I don't know why you delayed it.
No, because I didn't want to talk about it then, but now I just want to get it out of the way. So we played Conquer, as people hilariously noted, because this last week's big thing came out right as we were just finished with that game.
Yeah.
We were pretty optimistic about how it would rank. It did not land that well with us. I believe we said it was the worst rare 3D platformer. It's you know, we didn't expect the part where there was literally nothing connecting all of the bits that our friend Gex had showed us. The game was just these one-off jokes, none of which are good. The game doesn't appear to be done. The plot doesn't really have any good motivation or make a lot of sense. Like, it works okay as an intro for like 15, 20 minutes, but then the plot does basically nothing for the rest of it.
It's really good.
Yeah, we find out the villain motivation really late, and then it's bad. It doesn't mean anything.
It was funny because it literally happens halfway through the game.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny, but then it doesn't seem to matter, and Conquer doesn't even know that's going on.
Right? The villain doesn't actually exist in this game, it feels like.
Yeah.
You know, I have a new like top 5 GigaBoots stream moment.
Mm-hmm.
In which you're quoting the chat of someone going, I thought you you guys would think this would be your, one of your favorite Rare games or one of the best ones. And you're like, see, this is the disconnect. You guys have no idea the contempt we have for bad comedy. And then you just smiled at the camera.
Yeah,
This was 90% of the way through the stream.
I mean, it's nuts because, like, you play Banjo-Kazooie, right?
Yeah.
Banjo-Tooie and Donkey Kong 64, and while they don't feel great as platformers, they still have mechanics that you use and you need to use well to accomplish a thing. This game really is wander over here, push B.
Piss on the rock.
How many different quests, I guess you would call it, were push boulder? We got that working. Push boulder 3 times now. Push boulder really long distance. Boulder probably made of shit, statistically speaking, in Conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really rough. It's funny that Bob missed the Humbawamba moment, but
no, her name is Jugga.
yes, her name is Jugga.
I step out for one moment.
Yeah,
that happens.
Yeah.
And we're biting chunks off a dude's ass.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it is genuinely dreadful. I did not expect that. Obviously, you all heard Last Big Think. I really genuinely did not expect this. We hit our stream goal to play a lot of games, but more importantly, grab by the ghoulies. So this in Gemini,
Jet Force Gemini
are the only 2 rare games I can entertain are worse because no one knows what's in Grab by the Ghoulies.
Yeah, I have so low knowledge, I don't even want to be in the stream. I was like, you know what? No, I'm good.
That's not...
At least...
You're like, I know so little about this, I want to know nothing, ever.
Yeah, it's pretty much where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's like, whatever, I'll be there for Gex.
It's...
Yeah, baby.
I can't
By
even...
the way, the fucking Gex bot that found you just started posting quotes at you.
Yeah, no, that was...
And you're like, can you at least leave me the fuck alone?
Like, come on, I'm not streaming the game. Can't you give me till the stream before you just hunt me down and make terrible Gex-like jokes at me? Ugh. But yeah, we also hit a stream goal to play Gex 1, and we also hit a stream goal to play through Gex 2, and we also hit a stream goal to play through Gex 3, so I guess we're doing some sort of...
3?
Yeah. We're doing some sort of psychotic Gex death.
Did it happen
stream.
on that stream?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Streaming for 20 and a half hours has its benefits. Everyone who follows
people stay awake and they start to go crazy.
But what if number go up?
I kept telling them, I'm like, guys, most channels, they have a stream goal. They work towards it across multiple streams. But they were like, Dan, number go up. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Once after the 18th time Dan goes, we don't have to hit it as he sets up a goal, I'm like, now you're just being disingenuous.
No!
Because I'm like, it's like, come on, Elmer Fudd.
This is like what
don't know what's gonna fucking happen here.
Like Vox gets her PS5, right? I'm like, okay, good. Now that you have your PS5, let me tell you about the next neat thing you should get to, open up more content possibilities. So there's this thing called a Mister. She orders it within 2 days. And I was like, shit, Vox, this was a long-term, see, when I do things internally, I set long-term goals and I keep them in mind, right? And I work towards them. What? How am I? So it's really befuddling that I'm like, okay, we're going to put that up. And now whatever random donations come in during the stream because people want to make the text-to-speech thing say a funny thing, we'll work towards that. And then people are like,
and
I'm
we'll
gonna
make shit up like Bob has cursed.
I need that now. I need to fill that bar now. And I'm just like, oh my God. No wonder gotchas are so profitable. Holy shit. But yeah, no. I genuinely find it hard to believe that Gex will be worse than Conquer.
No, it won't. I played that. The platforming in that is okay.
And then you get to a level where you make shit milkshakes and you just chug them for an hour.
Yeah, you basically do that in Conquer. It's so bad.
Yeah, I know. It's because you played Epic Movie the game.
Yes.
The cow segment's one of the worst segments in any video game ever
It's
made.
funny because I look back at it fondly because I remember thinking that was hilarious as a child. So when it happened and you were shocked, I'm like, oh no, I'm insane. Look what they've done to me. And I didn't want to say it out loud in the stream because I was kind of coping with it at the same time. I'm like, yeah, it's going to explode. That's great. Oh no.
Oh wait, I'm unhinged. But yeah, so I'm I'm just glad that we're like wrapping up all this rare stuff. Like there's a sense of closure in playing all of a thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a sense of knowledge where you could be like, yeah, I played all these games. So really the only things past grabbed by the ghoulies from Rare is that Star Fox Adventures game.
I'm so excited. Loved that game.
And Jet Force Gemini.
Except the parts where Miyamoto arrived. Those were weird.
Jet Force Gemini is by far their most vicious game. That's the one where it's like, you want to get to the final boss? Go collect these 200 things.
Yeah, that's why I remember as a kid and all the how long the beats are like, no, it's 16 hours. That's fine.
Yeah, because those people knew you had to collect all the things.
Yeah. See, the things which, by the way, are hostages that some enemies will immediately try to kill upon the start of a conflict.
And
which are
they
almost always
brought in the AI from fucking GoldenEye then.
Which are almost always placed by like explosive barrels.
Raw.
But yeah, so looking forward to finding out what the hell Grabbed by the Ghoulies is. Because no one knows.
Oh my.
Like, no one
What's funny is I found out at no point have Rare called that bad, because I found multiple interviews. It's Grabbed by the Ghoulies, that thing that sold none.
Huh.
I was laughing because I was looking at Grant Kirkhope interview because he was talking about stuff like GoldenEye and stuff. He's like, yeah, I did the music for in GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie and Grabbed by the Ghoulies, which no one bought. And it was an old interview. So he's like, yeah, and I'm doing stuff for some big games coming up like Ninja Gaiden. I'm like, oh shit, Yaiba.
Oh. Ugh.
Sorry.
That's gross. Yeah, I remember the Banjo-Tooie devs just being like, yeah, when we made Banjo-Tooie, we were mostly driven by how large we could make the levels now and how incredible that is, and we wanted people to be surprised by it. And, playing through Tooie, you can notice that. Conquer doesn't have that. There's nothing in Conquer that's technically impressive compared to other games. And there's nothing...
How much voice acting there was on the N64?
Yeah.
That's true. There was a ton, which I guess that's how it got IGN's 9.9.
It's also got those content-sensitive buttons. Very impressive.
They are.
I give him just what he needs when he needs it.
The delivery is on. That guy is so good.
No.
What was it? We need to mention it here because we mentioned it on the stream. 49 characters are played by the creator / designer / background artist.
Yeah, there are 54 characters in the game.
God.
This is so insanely close to just being one man making this game.
Yeah, and like I kept joking about it, and it made more sense as we realized he literally is playing every character and thinks he's hilarious. It's the Nostalgia Critic game.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I want to see Conker shoot a camera perspective while it plays that riff. Yeah, no, that'd be way too funny. Rare should team up with Nostalgia Critic to make the next Conker. Anyways, that's what we've been playing. Hey, KZ.
Yeah, just modern Rare. I want modern Rare to do that. Put them in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, don't make Platonic do it. Make modern Rare. KZ, what you been playing?
I've been playing Final Fantasy IV. Bob, take off your headphones.
Oh, sure, yeah.
See, because Bob and I, at some point, we're going to play through these older Final Fantasies as well. and I need Bob to be fresh for any of what happens in 4.
Dan.
Yeah.
You sat here last week. I'm clasping the microphone with both of my hands. You sat here last week and listened to me talk about how stupid it is that Final Fantasy IV has 18 self-sacrifices in it, and went, huh, when he finds out none of them died.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the part where the dude strapped a bomb to himself and jumped off a mile-high cliff, or off a ship that high in the air, and just went, it's okay, he's in a bed.
Yep.
He's fine. That one dude who's in a laboratory that explodes, that he's trapped himself in. He's in a cave halfway across the map. You have to talk to his wife to get a frying pan to hit him in the head with a frying pan. That'll wake him up.
That shit's hilarious. I don't see the problem there. Even as a kid, I'm like, that seems insane.
And then my chat's like, so you ready to go revive Dip and shit? And I'm like, I give up.
And then Casey just laid down in the street and waited judgment.
It was between that and they're like, oh man, Golbez is gonna try and use his mind control on Kane again. And I'm like, and he says in his dialogue, don't worry, I'll resist it.
Sure thing, cock.
He punches Cecil 2 seconds later. It's just, you click A on the dialogue box, he's already hit Cecil and just stolen your crystal and left.
Yep.
I'm like, do you know what pacing is at all?
Nope.
You could make the sprite shake a little bit and wait 5 seconds.
No. It
just sounds like he was already possessed and just lied. And then I made it to the fucking moon. And then that's something.
Yeah, that's
and then
probably the most extra thing in Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, and then the next stream I do, I have to start as me going inside the cave in the moon that has Bahamut in it. And we're gonna go get him.
Oh, cool.
Because I got a bunch of the other summons. But I'll finish with the next time. That's all I have to say about it. They were on some shit.
They were. Hey, Bob, you can put your headphones back on.
Okay, well, give me a second here. All right, I'm back.
Gotta nestle them in there. And that's why they call it Final Fantasy IV. Moving on to Feel.
Final Fantasy, the 4th birthday. Feel, what have you been playing?
I finished Atelier Ryza 2. It was pretty good. It keeps the anime filler arc all through the end, but sets up actual, like, plot threads for a third game, which I think is funny because it kind of makes this game feel almost entirely superfluous from a story perspective.
Oh.
I still had a lot of fun with it, though. They refined all the mechanics from the first one. It includes some deeply funny things, which is like, man, money's hard. There's a running theme of money being hard because the main character is a hick, and the plot of this game takes her to like the nation's capital, and she's like, what do you mean that rent is more than I've made in my entire life? What am I supposed to do? Die? And everybody's like, yeah, that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. Just die. Yeah, play the first one, but I recommend this one. I assume they'll carry some story elements over. I mean, they set up plot threads for a third game, and then when you beat the game, you like unlock comments from every voice actor, which is in Japanese, of course, because it's not dubbed. And then they're all like, yeah, in the next game, I want to do this. And I'm like, well, they didn't announce it, so I guess the cat's out of the bag when it's almost every single one of you saying talking about the third game. But fuck that. Fuck an actual good game. Fuck those.
Oh, God.
We have to talk about Dragon Age Inquisition.
We don't have to, but let's do it anyway.
Yeah. Game of the year, whatever year it came out.
2014.
I've only played 11 hours, which means I'm just past the prologue. That's not a joke. That's actually the truth. Dragon Age Inquisition is a very interesting game. I think I'm enjoying it more than 2, at least, because I'm always seeing new things, and it's also just funny to be playing the Zap Brannigan-esque Warface, who does not wear a shirt, at least so far, because the best armor I have just has his tits out.
That'd slow him down.
It is, at the start of the game, I was like, This is like Final Fantasy 15 in a specific weird way, and then it continued to build on that energy. So, KZ, like Xenoblade or fucking you've played like a game with this kind of combat system before. You attack an enemy and then you just auto attack it over and over, and then you select your abilities, right?
Yeah.
That's not how Dragon Age Inquisition works. I have to hold the trigger like Final Fantasy 15.
What? Why would you hold the trigger?
So I can keep doing my default attack, because if I let go of the trigger, I just instantly stop doing that attack.
Final Fantasy 15 doesn't want me to hold triggers.
Oh no, you hold the trigger to dodge in 15. But it's like, just hold the trigger so you can repeatedly swing. I'm like, why? And like, because we wanted to trick people into thinking this was an action game.
Yeah, I remember trying that back in the day and being like, wow, this is really bad.
The game has ideas. I don't know if they're good ideas, but they have ideas. Like, there's no healing magic. You can only heal with potions that you only get 8 of at checkpoints. So instead, warriors can use abilities to give themselves armor, and mages can put barriers on people. It feels overcomplicated and kind of stupid. Luckily, I'm playing on easy, so I don't have to care. Also, the combat just feels bad. It feels worse than 2, which at least in 2 feels like a more responsive video game. In this game, you have like Ubisoft disease, where it's like you're walking through mud. Also, even if you hold the trigger, your character will not move into range automatically like every other one of these games ever made. So if an enemy gets knocked down slightly out of your range, you just swing at air.
I thought it just wouldn't do the swing. Swinging at air is way worse, because then you don't know if you do anything.
No, you can just pull out your weapon and start swinging at any time by holding that trigger anywhere you are.
That's cool. That's dynamic.
But fuck the gameplay. It's bad. They made confirm and jump are on the same button, which is another way it's like Final Fantasy 15, because I try to pick up an item and I fucking jump. That gave me a stroke also. My opinion on Dragon Age Inquisition has always been they overcorrected from Dragon Age 2, because Dragon Age 2 people were like, you didn't make any content. You made one area. And this, they went, fuck you. We're going to make every area. The first area of our game is going to be so massive and boring that we're going to have the media do press releases telling people that isn't the entire game, or they'll quit playing, which is a thing that happened. There was dozens of news articles being like, that first area, the hinterlands, the boring forest area that's terrible, that is not the entire game. It is the biggest area for some reason, but please try to escape it as soon as possible.
I remember hearing about all those articles, like hearing about them when they were coming out, and then seeing that it got Game of the Year. And I'm so confused by the disparity between these two things. Like, what?
Well, it was a bunch of content. Obviously, it was good.
I like content.
This is the apps, like, content is a strong word. It actually, like, there's still like, it feels like maybe if you ripped out all the padding, it would have the same, like, amount of side quests and stuff that, like, 1 had and 2 even. But there's so much filler, because where it's just like, you found a note, go to this other place and you find a different note. Quest complete. We didn't have to voice anything or make any animations. Win-win. That's content, right? And that's like most of it. So it just feels like you're in the grind void, where it's like, run over here, do bad combat, run over here, do bad combat. You're not really getting any, like, the stuff from a role-playing game that you'd want.
Oh, it's like you're just playing an MMO, like, in a beginner area where nothing's happening yet.
Yeah. Also, like, the whole game revolves around doing that, because doing that gets you power. And power represents how strong, like, the influence of the Inquisition, which is, like, the organization you run, which determines when you can do story quests. Like, doing a story quest will cost 8 power. So it forms a loop of hell where you have to do the boring stuff, and you have to eat your vegetables until you can do the stuff you actually want to do. And then the stuff you actually want to do is insane. Or it's like, I'm gonna go recruit the mages to the Inquisition. And then like a villain shows up and he's like, yeah, I used time travel, something never brought up in the series before now and that will never be brought up again, to get to the mages before you, to recruit them to my Nazi empire. Now I'm going to send you into the future where the bad guy who you have not met yet has won for 1 hour while you do one dungeon In the bad future, where all your party members are like shriveled up raisins because they've been tortured for a year, because he only sent you personally, the main character, and one other party member who you get in this quest to the future. So they're all like crazy and withered, and then you get and this is an hour long, a 1 hour like quest that is mostly fighting enemies in a hallway.
Ooh.
And then at the end, it's like, we'll hold them off while you go back in time. And it's supposed to be very touching how you watch them all get slaughtered as you travel, as you prepare the time travel spell, but it just comes off as really comical.
It makes me feel things.
And then the really insane thing is that you can pick not to recruit the mages. You can recruit the Templars instead, in which case there is no time travel. And the information you get from traveling into the future about the villain you haven't met yet, you just find in a note.
Whoa.
Now,
some really choices.
And then after you recruit the mages, you've escaped the prologue, because you get the transition into the full game, where in the hub area that has been your base for the first 15 hours of the game is attacked and destroyed. When and it's attacked by the villain of Dragon Age Inquisition, which was introduced in the Dragon Age 2 DLC. He has a bad design and isn't interesting at all. He went on.
Is he the guy we saw in the Dragon Age 4 trailer?
No.
Okay.
That's actually a party member in 3 that you don't find out is evil until the DLC of 3, released a year after the game came out. Anyway, this bad villain who is like sub Moro the Goat Man from Dragon Ball Super, like
Moro
he's
rules.
below that level of villain. They have to establish he's big and strong, so they do so by having him control an Archdemon, which was the final boss of 1. So it's very much like has the same energy of Sephiroth instantly killing Golem, where it's like, our villain's so strong, he enslaved the same thing that was the villain of the first game. Isn't that cool? Now he's gonna ramble about overthrowing God for 10 minutes as you stare as you T-pose at him. Somebody in my chat yelled, "Nobody better ever come for Kingdom Hearts again" during that scene. So he destroys your base, and here's a problem I have with Western games. They don't let you do your character be cool, because the villain like throws you around in this cutscene, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and you're like, "Or are you?" And then you swing your weapon at like the switch on a catapult, which causes an avalanche so you can escape, which is fine. But right after that, literally 10 seconds later, your protagonist gets the chaos bomb ability from his glowing right hand, which is a plot element. And it's like, why couldn't he discover his superpower during that cutscene to be cool? It's like, no, that's too hard. Can't be cool. You have to hobble away defeated.
You just turn into a Dynasty Warriors 3 character, hold your shoulders, you look at the enemy, and then walk away.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. So then you hobble through the snow, dying, and you find the camp that all your people escaped to. And you're recovering from illness, you're recovering from your injuries, and all your advisors are fighting. And I swear to God, I am not making this up. I am not fucking making this up. One of them starts to sing.
What?
Well, because they have to we have to unite our hearts and get back together on the same page. Unity, Dan.
Okay.
One of them starts to sing. Then another one of them starts to sing. Then another one of them starts to sing. Then everybody is singing for like 3 minutes.
What?
This is why I got Game of the Year.
And then they tell you have to be Jesus Christ. So you get a montage of you leading these people through a mountain to a new base, which is a giant castle in the mountains that is there because shut up.
Okay.
And then that's where the game actually starts. And that's where I am right now. I did a little bit more than that, wherein you get to meet the main character of Dragon Age 2, because they get called in because they fought, the villain in the DLC. So they have to bring them in so they can talk about how they're stronger than Jiren. When you are about to meet them, a box pops up. The box that they use for important decisions. And it's like, would you like to customize Hawk's appearance, or would you like to use Hawk's iconic appearance from Dragon Age 2? And I go, well, I used her default appearance. I would love to use her iconic appearance from Dragon Age 2. They made her wrong. I tweeted about it. On the right is how she looks in Dragon Age 2, and on the left is how she looks in Dragon Age 3. That is not the same design. I wouldn't be so hard on you if you didn't have a box come up and ask me if I wanted that design.
So this is supposed to be the exact same armor?
No, I'm talking about, look at the hair. The hair is the part that really kills me.
Yeah, no, the hairstyle is completely different, clearly.
Like, the box pops up and says, would you like to use Hawk's iconic design from Dragon Age 2? Select. That isn't the same design.
Look, it was just asking what you would like. It didn't say it could provide that.
No, she's got the like blood on her face. That's all there is to the design. They swear.
Also, her facial structure is entirely different because they had to use frostbite now.
Man, it's not even the same strip of paint on her face.
No,
That's bad.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes there are no time. They had time to make 45 enormous bad MMO zones, but not enough time to make this character look right.
Are her eyes even the right color?
It's hard to tell in that lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I think they are.
Okay.
I don't hate it yet, but I'm definitely remembering why I fell out, because my brain disease kicked in. I'm like, I gotta do every single thing in these huge bad zones. And now since I'm streaming it, I don't have that brain disease. Also, the fact that there was that whole gameplay element, which was like, so you want to do this thing that'll unlock more content? Yes. Come back in 4 hours.
Yeah, that's horse crap.
But luckily, modding gave me a thing that just makes it happen instantly. I got some good party members. I fired all the ones I hated, which really made me laugh. There's a party member in this game named Sarah. She is one of the worst characters they have ever come up with, and they know, because when she asks if she can join you, it gives you yes, no, and it tells you what will happen if you pick a yes or no. For every other character, it'll be like, oh, they'll leave. They'll leave and you won't get another chance to recruit them. This is your only chance. And sometimes it'll be like, oh, they'll leave, but you might have a chance to recruit them again. For her, and only her, it says, if you say no, fuck off, she says, Sarah will leave forever and never return. You also have the option to kick her out every time you talk to her.
Jeez. You should have kept her in just to see how bad it got.
It's kind of fucking weird. It's like your toxic male friend who's just like, you ready to get rid of this bitch now? And you're like, what? No, what's your deal?
Well, she's deeply awful. They knew how bad she was.
Yeah, but it's insane to have a button, bro. Now? Is it now? What's your limit? You let me know when you're ready to tap out on this person.
Also, I met Freddie Prinze Jr. He's all right. It's not a joke either. He voices a character in this game who's named Iron Bull and is like a giant dude with bull horns who constantly hits on you, I think.
Yeah, I think that
regardless
was
regardless of your sex.
I think that was one of the best received characters in that game.
Yes. After Dragon Age 1, they kind of had a problem with making good characters. Like the character in Dragon Age 2, the brooding elf who hates you no matter what you do. Like, you give him a book and he says, "Did you give me this book because you know I was a slave and cannot read?" And he gets really offended. If only these games weren't like knives in your thigh to play, I could recommend them as comedy, but they all have the worst fucking combat in the world. Also, I tricked the camera because you can summon your horse with a button and it always summons it behind you. So I'm like, what'll happen if I spin the camera while I summon it? Just keep spinning it in a circle. You see it just spawn into existence slightly above the ground and fall down. So that was funny. That's all. I'll talk about that more when I play more. See you in a week. This will probably last 4 weeks.
Oh no.
Yep. This is our lives now. Alive.
Surely he won't have anything relevant to say every week.
Lives we owe to the Pod Lords.
Oh, fuck the Pod Lord.
Pod Lords.
Oh, fuck the Pod Lords.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's the Pod Lords. Pod Lords such as Danny Richardson. Zooming in Windows Explorer so that way I can see the images of the Pod Lords and match them up to the things so that way I can smoothly drop them in. Oh, that isn't a Pod Lord, that's just what I'm doing. Anyway, Danny Richardson. E. Lee Broyles. Terrible Lizard Mess. Corey Brown. Red Blaze 27. Chaos Hero. Juice of Frost. Suzu Shiro. Emperor Zero. Sheeby Weeby. Conquer has been canceled. Long live the true Kino Raw Goat Swag Drip King Gags.
Hell yeah. Yeah, baby.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day is an unconscionable horror, and you're all so brave for fighting it. Braver than the troops.
I mean, yeah, you joined the army there. Remember the part where you tried to jump the fence and missed, and then they all shot you to death?
It's a very good segment. Gary Zora vs. Podlord.
No.
I have no idea what that deal is.
That's the stock photo they edited into the alien at the end of Mass Effect 3.
Of course.
Which will probably still be in the remaster, but the AI will have smoothed it into like a smudge.
No, the AI will turn it into Gary Busey on accident.
That Gary has so many fingers.
101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. WTF Spider-Man. Matty Mo. A crime against nature. W. DFW3K. Much like changing my Podlord name last week, I forgot to do something important. I'm guessing
Oh, no.
they didn't get out in time.
Their total return is negative $1,000.
I see they too became the broke.
Yes.
Yes, the only gift cards true gamers will ever need. It's still Xbox Live Gold, but really it should be a gift card for the Cheesecake Factory. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Santi Kunai. Kristen C. My face when I have to wait for the release of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker to see if we will fight Rubicant or Golbez as a raid boss. Oh man.
There's so much potential here. They've gotten rid of so many other ones. It's perfect.
I'm hoping for Golbez.
Yeah, we've already I think we've already fought the train.
Yes, Phantom Train is a boss.
Yeah, I didn't do that raid series.
Tonberry teams up with this talking cat named Fluffy. I assume hilarity ensues.
I need you to go over there and doink them.
So this time he did pick a magical kitchen knife.
Devil Summoner Raido Kusunoha versus Digital Devil Saga Switch Edition. Dr. Peepee. See, that Podlord's funnier than Conquer.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. EST 42069.
Local unironic Gex stan Adam upset that Dan and Bob are playing these bad games and that I'm going to replay them also. Ironic, but also bad.
Right? I don't get it.
This is a very mixed message. Kyle Bjork.
Uh-oh.
Drives up inconspicuously. Hey there, brain boys. Ever heard of the best kart racer ever called Sonic Roboblast 2 Kart? Ooh. I thought Rady Shady was sliding up on us for a second. Apple Gothic, the unironic stand for all bird kind. Zilter. Dobo's Bad Fur Day.
God.
It's great.
Oh, that makes every scene worse.
Dobo is delightful and Conquer very much is not.
You just think about the scenes where it's like, we're going to zoom in on Conquer's face for 45 seconds, but it's Dobo.
Now, oh god, I'm imagining Dobo doing the money animation.
No! Zasterders computer fans are making uh-oh noises. That's not good.
Pack it up. Those motherfuckers. You gotta put a -2 in that file.
I hate that I love this.
Quite a dilemma.
Cross Angelo.
There's a lot going on here.
Yes.
Angelo has a pretty rough first episode.
Oh God! Oh, I've only watched 2 episodes, and I don't like this concept at all.
I'm finally gonna get back to it. I've turned on HDCP. My power to watch things has returned.
When are they going to add Lord Embryo to Destruction All Stars?
I still don't know what he does.
Blig de blue, schlig des boo. Craig Goss. Cyberpunk is out, but I'll continue playing Dragon Quest. I think I started the added content after Mortagon reveal. Daniel, my hunger has not been quenched. Bring me Red Eye's baby dragon.
Ooh.
Master Tonberry's sultry voice. Lamu. Dark Soul fans will literally do anything except play a game that isn't Dark Souls.
They should
They're
try
right.
like Gek. They should try like Gek. I heard it's pretty good.
Dan, believe in your own justice. Cooper Tank.
I love that face.
Feels on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yep. He's like, I have a take that's extra hot.
They should make that ass extra fat.
Kazima, Kiryu excellent. Good luck pronouncing that one. I think you owe me $50 more for nailing it.
It's just that part where he gets the new style and goes, "That's rad," but that's raw.
Hell yeah.
Doug Conker, Indigo Sykes, and Devil Summoner Shu Amaguchi versus Digital Devil Saga. Better put on a show for Yuki-chan edition.
Wow.
Thank you very much to our podlords.
Thank you, Podlord.
Pod Lord.
Thank you,
You're making all the You're making the podlords look like amateur.
And if you'd like to become an amateur, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts, Cursed Content Club commentary track, Cursed Content by Committee, our Patreon exclusive user-voted Cursed Content show, which also comes with commentary track, and extended armchair dev pitches where you get to actually hear our ideas before we forge them into blades. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.
Hello.
We've got some news.
Oodles and oodles.
Oodles
So much
and
exciting
oodles and
things.
oodles and news.
We clearly should record on Wednesdays to dodge the Thursday flood.
You realize we'll still have to cover it eventually.
Right? You know me. I'm constantly scared and put things in the back of my brain. What are we doing?
I'll start off. So Epic showed off some really insanely good tech called MetaHuman Creator. It is a set of simple tools that are web-based to create character models for video games.
Why are they saying it's that, though?
What do you
I
mean?
thought the Fox buyout happened. Can't they just call them mutants instead of metahumans?
I'll leave. So
You should go, yes, Casey, you're very funny. This is why you make the big bucks.
I think the term now is Casey. I think the term now is bang baby.
Static Shock's really good.
It is really good. When are we gonna do the Static Shock podcast?
I don't know. We need to do that. But, just sticking with the news. Basically, you use a web interface. You get to customize sliders to adjust parameters on these highly realistic models of humanoid characters. And they have various types. It uses cloud data and Quixel mega scans and stuff like that in order to make insanely high quality models that have multiple different levels of detail. So it goes all the way from cinematic quality assets, which is what you see in the video that they show this off with, all the way down to mobile quality, where their hair is now turned into texture stamps instead of being individual geometric strands.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's insanely dynamic. This thing's really, really intense. it currently has a limited number of character types. They're going to expand it more in the future. One of the long-term goals after they, get a few more types of adults is getting children at various ages, because that's obviously a really different type of model, unless you're BioWare.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Grabs corner, holds shift.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's the worst.
That's literally what they do.
The field wasn't ready.
But yeah, this thing's really intense. And after looking into it, I was like, cool. This is great. This is how I'm going to do my VTuber in the future. I'm just going to make me an insanely high fidelity in Unreal Engine 4 and then just set up a face rig. And then I was like, what do you mean they already have an iPhone app to stream in mocap of facial expressions? So I ended up going down like one of those rabbit holes, like a Wikipedia rabbit hole, but for motion capture. So that was a really fun night. I should not spend time looking into that. I might start making weird shit. Anyway, those tools look really great. They're gonna get it more into more people's hands a couple months from now when they deploy it relatively, and then going forward. It'll expand more with more character types and stuff like that. I think a number of games this is good enough for. Like, there's definitely a tier of game that highly realistic NPCs is, better than what they might resort to help their lack of staff.
When we first saw the trailer for this, like, Dan, the Square needs to get on making Aya Breyes default metahuman.
Yeah, she's vanilla flavored MetaHuman, so everyone gets to make content with her, which means she's in a lot of porn.
Oh, wonderful.
Anyway, so that's looking really cool. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
I hate you for this first bullet of news, but say it so that way these people can set up unreasonable expectations of us.
There's another New Game Plus Expo. Takes place March 4th. That's one of the insane things that happened last summer because no E3.
Yep. Was that even last summer? I thought
might
that
have
was
been
way
fall.
later in the year, like fall, and we were like, clearly everyone's figured out you don't fuck it up that bad,
I think it was like July or August. I remember that one because they just started showing like anime dating sim stuff.
Yes, they did. There was a couple, and it's like, what are you like? You guys were very confused.
Yeah, that was an upsetting expo.
Yeah,
I need to check if any of those.
You're like, what's this big Koji Igarashi announcement? Curse of the Moon 2.
And it was like, okay, I can cope with that. Let's move on. But they wouldn't move on. Inti got 30 more minutes.
Yeah, so Inti Crate's back for this one.
Yeah, all the
Yay!
usual suspects are back. So we're going to have to deal with bad green screening from some guy who's a community manager at Inti again.
I hope we get that really good English announcer.
I mean, well, he has to be on the payroll at this point. It's ridiculous.
Bloodstain, Curse of the Moon 2.
You need to watch the Guilty Gear game modes trailer.
Nope. Sorry.
It lived in my head for so long. It's so bad.
Do you think they'll show that game where it had the live action clip that was in the place I recognized from Kamen Rider Guy?
No.
We also found out that Aoden Chronicles, it's successful Kickstarter from a few months or a year back now.
That's the Suikoden one, right?
Yeah, that's Suikoden.
Okay.
They're going to be published by 505 Games, so brace yourself.
Everyone disliked that. It's just the Fallout thing of everyone disliked that.
Here's the thing, okay?
Uh-huh.
We haven't had any of these games not ship,
Right.
and we haven't had any of these games, aside from Indivisible, ship in a state that is extremely not done. Like, Ritual of the Night shipped in a relatively done state. There weren't major bugs everywhere.
Right. So
Yeah,
probably
the only
fine.
stuff not there was stuff they said would be after launch.
And I feel that and the Xbox version, because Microsoft's terrible to deal with, wouldn't patch for way too long. But I feel like Shenmue 3 some words could be said about it, about what generation of console it shipped on, because no one can prove otherwise. But, you know, I feel like at least it wasn't seemingly rushed to market. So very least, it seems like 505 will fully fund a game to completion. How good of a job they do promoting it and supporting it is debatable and argued about.
Handling it at all.
And whether or not they'll sell it to Epic or fucking Game Pass and then not give the devs any money, and then
Yeah.
That stuff's always bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the best.
we were just talking about how it's, you know, good game. They publish good games, but nothing they've done seemingly is good.
Yeah. That was all
which
of one
sadly
big
puts
thing.
them above a lot of publishers.
Yeah. That's pretty sad. Okay, Bob.
Yeah, we also
Do it.
today, out of nowhere, we got the Epic Games Store Spring Showcase.
I didn't even know this thing was happening.
Yeah,
I didn't know this thing existed.
Gamatsu tweeted about, it starts in 10 minutes. I was like, I guess I gotta get out of bed and watch it.
Man, thank God for Bob, because my response would be, okay, roll's over.
This was one of the worst quality streams I've ever watched.
We watched so many bad
We
ones.
just talked about New Game Expo.
It's just insanely bad stream. Like every few seconds, it's freezing, and like everything turns into the amorphous blob that is like bad encoding.
Are you telling me one of the richest people in the video game industry can't afford the bandwidth to run a stream?
Apparently, they get 10 minutes in after the first 3 announcements, and then they like roll it back a bit, and like, okay, maybe they're trying to fix it, and then it has the same problem still.
They're just like, fuck it.
Okay, what happened here?
So we have a brand new game called Binary Smoke, which is a cyberpunk, and this is in quotes, story-driven 3D action-adventure title. It's really hard to tell what it is from what they've shown so far.
I've been told by certain judges on Armchair Devs that there's no point in making a cyberpunk game anymore.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder why that would happen.
That
How
may
dare you.
That may have aged like milk over the 2 months we kept it in the vault.
Don't worry.
be
2
2
years
months,
from
that's
now, 2 years from now, it'll be aged well again.
Sure.
I'm not so sure. After that
No.
Groby Cat video.
Yeah, after watching the Kroby Cap video, I'm not sure what state you repair it to, but who knows? Maybe they No Man's Sky this shit.
Maybe.
Ooh.
That would be delightful.
We got all of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Epic Game Store. Like, they go...
Same time.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, on the same day, it's 1.5 plus 2.5, 2.8, 3, and Melody of Memory.
The pricing for
Got
these
it.
is insane.
And if you want to get them all on $230 for all of them.
Yeah. Whatever, I don't really care.
$60 for 2.8. I think that's the only one I find completely egregious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great... 3 is somehow probably one of the better price things because it has the DLC packed in it. So I'm like, okay, that's at least a more recent, bigger AAA game instead of a package of older games.
Right, like
I
that
can
one makes any sense.
Like that one, I can see that. Also, I've been wanting these things to hit PC forever, and never have I seen an entire modding community unite and go, oh, it's time. The amount of stuff they've been trying to do with the really bad PS2 emulator and trying to make fun shit work.
Yeah.
Half of the impressive mods that exist for Kingdom Hearts 2 right now run off scripts that are running 1,500 cheat codes at once.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's how the
right.
randomizer works.
yeah, that makes sense. How else is that going to work?
Yeah, and other stuff that we'd learned about how PCSX2 has some of the worst input lag of any emulator.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I recorded footage of it for the My Life in Gaming episode, and I was like, oh boy, this is a bad way to play this.
and people going to the PCSX2 devs like, is there any way to, maybe make this a little bit better? And they're like, it's fine to me. And you're like, I don't want to hear that for the people making this. So yeah, I'm super pumped seeing what modding things people are going to be able to pull out of this almost pretty much immediately. And once stuff starts moving, I'll probably buy like 3 and then the 1 and 2.5. The funniest thing on here, 2.8, $60. That's one game, one like small demo game, and a movie that is an hour long.
That is completely insane. I have no idea what the hell they're thinking.
Yeah.
1.5, 2.5 is $10 cheaper, includes 4 full games.
It only came out a little bit before 2.8.
And what's funny
originally.
is the 1.5, 2.5 still came out later for the PS4 port, which is what this is based on, which is the 60 FPS updated. It's insane. But yeah, these will probably quickly become the best versions of these. Probably gonna find a way to. Yeah, maybe they can go back and fix some of the 60 FPS problems that Square never fixed with Kingdom Hearts 2, where they double the frame rate, so some attacks are kind of just broken.
Yeah, that would be
they
good.
don't animate properly.
So is this Epic Game Store exclusive?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how long
But people
that
looked
lasts.
into it. The only games that stayed exclusive are like under 5 games, so it's probably just gonna appear on Steam in a year at a third of the price, and then
At a third of the price, and
then we'll sell a couple million per title.
like remember how it was Hades was exclusive for a year and nobody talked about it until the second it came out on Steam and Switch, and then it was everywhere at once forever.
Yes.
I feel like it might have even been more than a year.
I think so.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It launched with the store. Like that was the first game you could get on there.
you know, we have some numbers for Epic Game Store, and ooh, those aren't good numbers. Where
Well,
it's
this will be it. This is what pulls them in.
the amount of money that they pulled in didn't change between 2019 and 2020 with a pandemic.
Pandas.
We also heard about the new Godfall update, Godfall Primal update.
Gonna need
One
your
where they
report on
include
this
the
one,
rest of
Dan.
the game.
They've added more levels to that tower that Dan hates.
What?
Yeah, that's the end game, I guess.
Of all the things.
Yeah, the Tower of Trials.
Why?
And they also let you level up past the level cap now, so you have a different kind of level, kind of like light levels in Destiny, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently there was something that had 100 levels that they condensed down to 30 because they decided 100 was too many.
God. So that was there. I thought that was pretty funny. And then we heard about the Magic Legends open beta comes in March.
Is this like Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering, but you play as a summoner, and it seems like an active or action RPG, kind of like Diablo.
Oh, I'm a fucking stooge. I'll absolutely try this.
Yeah, no, I watched the photos, like, oh man, this actually looks like fun. You just play as some dude who has a blue deck, and he just shows waterfalls and summons monsters. It's really neat.
Hell yeah, just throw in a cool looking ship from Tempest or something. I'm done. Oh god, please don't have any gotcha. I'll die. I'll be like, you stooges with your Genshin Impact. Now I'm going to spend $500 on Magic Legends because when I was growing up, I had no money to spend on cards.
And then we had the big thing for the event. They did the whole thing of one last feature.
Mm-hmm.
Axiom Verge 2 coming exclusively to PC to the Epic Game Store.
So here's my prediction, Bob.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me before my prediction. Is it coming exclusively to PC and exclusively to the Epic Game Store on PC?
It's just exclusive to the Epic Game Store on PC. It's still the Switch version still happening.
Oh, okay.
Like nothing else is going to cancel.
They didn't
They just worded it super
swoop in.
weird.
Okay. Here's my prediction. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is going to end like that comic book panel that Phil posted that one time. Given how
this is my face.
yes,
My face when I'm fucking you in the ass.
I think that's how this one ends, based on how the first one ended. I feel like that's the only way
I
you.
thought it was going to be the end of Wanted.
That's the only way you kick it up a notch. That is what he's talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the dialogue in that. I just know the dude's face.
Yeah. It's gonna be that face, but him wearing a lab coat and no pants.
Is it the same protagonist? Is it still Pro Jared?
I presume it's still Pro Jared.
He has a new sprite. They showed some gameplay. He's got like a white coat now.
I thought he had a white coat before.
I thought it was brown.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know. I tried to not think about Axiom Verge, the game I bought and immediately regretted.
Check this out.
Yep.
We did a quick play style video that was a review of Axiom Verge, and I go, so Bob, you buy Axiom Verge, and Bob just goes, oops, and he gives away the ghost in the first 10 seconds of the video, and I'm like, geez, they could stick around a bit and find out your opinion.
They don't show his face in that trailer, the protagonist's face, so I have no idea if it's the same guy.
So we have no idea if he's fucking us in the act. Okay, that's...
This time the guy looks like Spoonie.
Oh no!
He already, he could easily,
Yeah, no, it wouldn't take much to...
No, it wouldn't. Man, that game.
Looks like Doug Walker.
Get Doug Walker away from the world.
If anyone hasn't played Axiom Verge, it's Super Metroid, but every single movement ability is bad.
But see, here's the thing. It goes a step further because it's really just normal Metroid, but that. Because
I
it's
think,
NES
I think of
stuff.
I think of every Metroidvania I have played in the past 6 years, and I've played a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Axiom Verge is like near the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest fan of it. Especially its fucking ending.
It's really smart, Dan. It made you think,
Shut
didn't
the
it?
fuck up.
I like thinking.
Yahtzee did a better fucking cerebral fucking thing on no money and a shit engine years prior, and nobody gives a crap about that. So why the fuck are we gonna pretend Axiom Verge has a story worth remembering in the least? He has a glitch gun. It glitches things like NES glitches. You remember that? Blow on the cartridge, bazinga.
That
Anyways,
sounds
do we
pretty
have
cool.
other news?
Not for me. I'm
Oh, okay, good. That's great. KZ, start blasting.
Okay, we'll start blasting with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is coming June 11th. They showed off a little sizzle trailer to announce that pre-orders are up. They're bringing back the Carbonox armor from Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, the 2003 game,
Mm-hmm.
and the Pixelizer from the movie game from 2016.
Hell yes.
And the armor looks really cool, and they're like, yeah, it's ray traced. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
So I think both of those things are exclusive to special editions, aren't they?
They're like early unlocks.
So
So
for pre-ordering?
you pre-order and you just
Okay.
have those immediately, but otherwise you'll get them in the game later.
Okay, I noticed some of the things that the special editions were coming with kind of made me fucking lose it, where it's like 20 raritanium, and I'm like, wait, don't you normally have a set amount of raritanium instead of it being a generalized currency?
Huh.
No, not in the later ones. You could get it from enemies, and then like
Okay.
there would be nodes on the upgrade map like get more raritanium from enemies.
Keep going. Okay. But yeah, part of me is like, I really enjoyed that game. I would really like. I think this is going to be a great Ratchet game. I have high expectations, so I'd like to get a really nice edition. I don't do that for a lot of games, but I'd like to do that for this. So when I checked out the special edition, it was like raritanium and some other things. I'm like, it's not really.
Right, it's hard to care about that.
There's a really expensive version. I'm going to look up real quick what came with that. Funny thing, though, I don't think we saw any new footage.
No, that's weird.
That's insane. Another funny thing, I told Bob 4 hours before they announced this, yeah, it's coming out in June.
He did. I was there.
Allegedly.
And then I was like, that is not launch window.
Yeah, not in the least.
Dude, you're lucky if that's launch driveway. Like, fuck you.
Launch zip code.
Yes, vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
That's
They're still-
launch zip code is what Gran Turismo's aiming for.
They still haven't named that fucking that female Lombax character. Their blog, they implied that her name will be related to Rose.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm like, man, you guys are really staying tight-lipped on basically everything with this game.
Wait a second. Are they going to name her Lightning?
Yes.
Oh.
She must not be forgotten.
Oh yeah, we've only seen her Lombax form, not her human form.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up!
We already had the episode.
This is the worst.
You're
get
done.
Get back in the booth. We're doing it again.
Her
Okay.
human form, but she turns into like a Quark-esque human.
Oh no.
This might be a really good game.
I hope so. This is when I look at 2021, my hope is on this. My second place is Returnal. If these two are bad, Gran Turismo better deliver or I'm going to start drinking. What the fuck's this t-shirt? Oh, they have a place. they have a Ratchet Clank t-shirt they made that is on the PlayStation Gear Store. I only found out just now because I'm trying to find out if there's a fancier edition than the launch, the weird deluxe edition. Okay, so no, they haven't announced any physical high-end editions, just digital deluxe. But here's that t-shirt. I'll post that for you guys. Anyway, very cute.
Oh, look at that.
This is very adorable.
So Dan,
yeah.
I know you watched every second of the Street Fighter V Winter Update stream, right?
No, but I feel like I might know what happened.
I did.
Oh. Yeah, that was, I was watching that, and I was like, the first one they did feels weird how extra transparent they are. And Ono had just announced that they were leaving, so I was like, oh, maybe they just kind of woke up now that he's no longer there. And now I extra think that, because that stream was pretty good. They showed off Dan, showed off Rose. They showed like a mocap video of them like doing the capture for all of it and like beta footage.
That mocap video was really nice. I liked seeing that a lot. It really explains why after like the third season or so, we started seeing really cool animations after a punch and for every character. So it's like, oh yeah, they actually have a motion capture artist doing that. Yeah, that's really great.
They seemingly have stopped outsourcing as much of this as they could. But yeah, all that stuff looked nice. They show off a new stage that's going to be coming with Rose. They show off the new V-shift mechanic, which is like some defensive thing that you can do.
You get the backdash from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, it's also it's more or less identical to the backdash in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it looked really dope.
I don't remember that.
Watched a decent amount of 5.
It might have been one of the later versions that I didn't play.
Because Street Fighter 4 is the whole thing. You just got the ink stuff where you got the charge attack and you can.
Oh, mechanically, I mean mechanically.
Yeah, but mechanically they're really different because that was like absorb a blow and then you hit the enemy to get your health back. Whereas this is
that was like the guard crush thing. Your regular backdash made you immune to all kinds of shit like this one did in SF4.
Like I've watched a decent amount of 4 through through competitive stuff, and this didn't look like any of that at all. Like this seemed like a really good defensive like dash mechanic that I just seeing the footage of how that changes some characters looks really great. Also, the dark training stage, where it's the training stage, but it's black.
I was wondering what the difference
if you have
was.
A QLED.
Yeah.
It was cool to see an entire match play out with Dan.
Oh yeah, Dan seems really, really dope. Dan, the V-shift mechanic, the new training stage, and all the balance updates they have to do because they added V-shift are all coming on the 22nd.
Really? I hope Dan is still bad.
Yeah.
If he's good at all, that's a betrayal of the character.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Good timing. I'm sure they adjusted the date, made sure that it was one day after that Guilty Gear beta.
Oh, okay. I was like, is this overlapping that? That'd be
no.
Really sad.
It is the day after it. So, yeah. That's also 11 was shown off, where he can copy any of the characters you own, and you just play it.
Yeah, he basically.
I don't know. I looked at that. He's weird.
It's like a random select as a character.
Right. Yeah, he just there's a.
It's like select. What's that fucking character in Soul Calibur? I guess there was 2. There's like the guy made of shards, and then Weapon Master.
Yeah, Weapon Master, and then Olmec or something. Not Olmec. It's some weird owl head dude. What is that?
Yeah, Olmec is the host of Legends of the Hidden Temple. There's someone in Tekken that's like this, I saw people saying.
Yeah, man, I'm forgetting his name too. So Olkadan is the one in Soul Calibur, and then the wooden doll. And
yeah. People were so scared because 11 leaked.
Right, yeah. People thought he was
and
that
people
character.
People like, no fucking way is the final character
I was
going to be a version of 12.
Yeah, he looks so bad.
It's like what's her name? DiCaprio again. Where it's just like, the last thing is like the least interesting thing we could do.
and like that, they spent months hyping her up, and then the backlash on that was so hard that they planned on putting her in 5 and cut her because it went so badly.
Okay, the second one's Mokujin.
Okay, yeah. Would not have remembered that. But yeah, overall, this was like a really cool presentation. Like, I liked all of that, you know, and which usually it has a lot going against it because it has a part where they just shill clothing in esports. So it had a lot going against it, but it was actually really good.
They need to talk about PS5. It's upsetting that they don't.
They are not going to talk about PS5. You're just going to have to wait for 6.
They supported it for another whole year. I don't understand what's wrong with their heads.
The amount of very stupid people in the chat going, you should make rollback in this and fix all the netcode. I'm like, they're not gonna fucking do that. It's over.
Yeah, just hope they make Street Fighter 6 right.
Yeah.
Because to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of at the point where I'm not going to buy a new fighting game that doesn't have rollback.
No, we have to play fighting games together. I'm sorry.
We can play fighting games that have rollback. There's a lot now.
Yeah, luckily it seems like it's actually being adopted. Finally.
All right, this one confused me. 6 days in Fallujah?
Fallujah, I think.
Oh, okay. This is an Iraq war game that Konami canceled in 2009 because, you know, they looked like the news looked at it and went, what the fuck are you doing? It's coming back. It's coming out for PC this year. It has like Bungie devs that worked on Destiny and Halo. Shoot them.
Okay. The CEO of Victura, who is the developer making this, insists the government is not involved in funding it and it is being independently financed. I think that's probably a lie, and here's how I can guess that is a lie. In all their PR material, they capitalize soldier. That is something only military PR does.
Wow.
and Shinra.
Well, Shinra makes it all capital letters.
yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Like there's no good answer here. The absolute best case scenario is that they're wildly out of touch in making something they shouldn't. The worst case scenario is they're being paid to make propaganda by the US government.
That seems like really likely.
Daniel Ahmad said that a company that makes like training simulators for the FBI and CIA is involved, but I can't find evidence of that being the case outside of him saying it, and he didn't post a source for it. So I'm hesitant to say if that's true and he's not just confused because I think they were involved with the original version. But if they are involved and that comes out, that's pretty much fucking confirmation, isn't it? Do you think that there are guides on who the FBI shoots is just like a color chart? Like they just hold it up to the suspect and it's like, oh, we can shoot him.
This is what I come back to.
Yeah. He wrote that down initially in these notes when I first saw him going here, and I was dying. I'm just alone seeing like, oh fuck, he found it.
Wait a second, what the fuck is any of this, man?
Yeah.
A propaganda video game that has come back to life.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, luckily you're in Iraq, so you can just show away the chart. You're just free to go. Anybody.
I saw somebody who was like, oh, is Konami still involved? Maybe he'll be on the Fox engine. And somebody's like, no, Konami's not involved. They're like, fuck. So it's just evil for no gain. The developers apparently made a VR game for PS4 called Golem, which I saw multiple people say was one of the worst games on the PS4. So,
don't we own that?
Yeah, we own that.
We were gonna give that game a chance at some point because it's Marty O'Donnell, the composer from Bungie. He founded that studio to make that game. Holy shit! God. What?
This is a huge
what a nightmare.
Yeah.
I like people's hopes for the Konami engine. That's like, you know, I can deal with some propaganda and war crimes so long as it has the Fox engine on it.
Yeah, because then the modding potential goes through the roof. You get Snake.
Yeah, what a
man.
What a fucking just.
Yep.
Yeah. Get it. Yeah. This could potentially be a mess. but we'll say E3 is aiming to do a digital event this year. They still need publishers to actually want to do that, but if they do want to do that, they will do that.
Please, just all 1 week this year.
Please.
Here's the thing. I don't know how much it matters to publishers when it's a digital event, because publishers get a lot out of it being a physical event from meeting up with people and other stuff. Digital event, not sure, especially considering this last year with its pandemic-fueled sales spike might have told them that they don't need E3.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who covers video games, though, please shut
for the love of
fuck
God,
up and go to E3. We don't want you to do your own event. We want you to shut the fuck up.
You can do your own event as long as it's in that 1 week.
Isn't there some weird thing with the ESA stuff where it's like, yeah, you have to pay us $10,000 to be featured?
Yeah.
So, that gives people even more reason to be like, we'll do our own.
$10,000 is a drop in the bucket for fucking Konami.
Oh, I know. It's completely nothing to these companies.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Most companies, they don't give a shit. But Inti Creates doesn't have $10,000.
The only good event last year was the one Sony did, and that sucks.
And they don't have to do one this year because they're not releasing a console.
Yeah. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even Microsoft usually has decent E3 presentations, but no, they were all bad last year. Nintendo didn't do anything.
Microsoft, period. Microsoft basically just has some of the strongest E3 showings from a third-party perspective, especially to just about the
Bright
worst
Memory.
case scenario. Yeah.
They put out a fucking cinematic trailer for Bright Memory Infinite while we were recording.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I actually watched that trailer.
Yeah.
Worldwide release in 2021. They shared us in that trailer.
Okay.
Is anything stolen in that one?
I don't know. Maybe they stole the guy who's playing the villain from a popular movie, but I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hopefully this E3 thing works out, because man, I'm so tired of having I'm tired of dying by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Just stab me, damn it.
This would have been 30 minutes in the middle of an E3 thing. It's a 4-hour long stream now.
Here's 2 hours of Avengers.
We need to stop.
I'm going to knock out a couple of these quickies we have here.
Sure.
AI Hub, we talked about them last week. They're the outlet who interviewed Akira Yamaoka, who said the next game I'm working on is the one you've been waiting for. Someone told them to remove their interview, and they did. Konami made a statement saying that it wasn't them, but I can't say I necessarily want to trust their statements.
I mean, it wasn't them, it was Sony, because Sony is the one funding it.
Yeah,
probably.
But yeah, that means a lot when it's like, here's an interview. The only thing of substance was someone basically giving away what they're working on, and then the interview has to disappear.
Yeah, just let it rock at that point.
No,
at that
not
point,
suspicious.
put up the fucking teaser. God. Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake delayed to an unknown date, because look at it.
Good.
Just look at it.
Good. I'll do that to
I'd rather
Balan
not.
Wonderworld right now.
No, we're committed. It's good. It's fine.
Yuji Naka's like, Square Enix said I could have one chance. Time to set it on fire.
God.
Okay.
Don't talk about it.
Okay, Yuji Naka, you gotta sell all these physical copies these retailers signed up for. How you gonna do it? Each game comes with a premium steak.
Ooh. It's just steak.
Why is Yuji Naka Chad from Bleach?
Because he has brilliant ideas.
Is that why the protagonist is so slow? Because Chad's just like, that is how I run.
That is how I run.
They all run like that.
Oh man,
this was just I was befuddled the morning this happened.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red put out a tweet saying they'd been hit with a cyber attack that said that the source code of pretty much every one of their recent games were just obtained and will get dumped, and things will be sent to journalists if they fail to negotiate they seemingly put the ransom note into Notepad. The ransom note said they were epically pwned. So I feel like they've this is either fake or they've been hacked by someone who is in the year 2003.
No, that's how hackers are, Casey. Why wouldn't you shame the person you just owned by saying pwned?
Yeah, and I think stuff is already leaking from this.
They typed an emoji default dance into Notepad and saved it on all of our computers.
I also don't know why any PR for anyone would show you the note.
Yeah, that's the part that's fucking
that's the
insane
part
to
that
me.
Confuses me. First, they have a well-dressed image with them writing in a very business-like manner. This is the thing that happened. We're not negotiating with them. Here's a screenshot of the Notepad that we
What's
put
up, nuts? That's right, it's me again, the Skull Gang hacker.
I'm like, what? Why? Why would you post it
and
like
that's
this?
and that I think that one thing that weird dissonance there is why some people were starting to doubt it. They're like, who the fuck posts this?
some people are like, the way that ransom for fucking threat letter is posted, it reads just like your PR, so I feel like it's just you.
So, like, the first picture, it's a tweet, right? The first picture, the text of the tweet just says important announcement. The first picture is a well-written out business letter. It's from someone, and they're just like, unfortunately, me and my wife are having troubles. It's been terrible, but there's been some disturbing events as of recent, and I'm just not going to be able to keep turning out content like I have recently. Hopefully you can all give me some strength and have some patience while I get together. Second picture is him sitting next to the bed that some other dude's fucking his wife in, and he's just got a grumpy face while the dude's just having the time of his life. Just like, who would post this? What? You don't post the person... Like, do you know how much that hacker got off from you including that in the tweet?
Yeah, I was stunned. Like, can they just fucking go? Can that company go away?
They're a hot fucking mess. But yeah, shit's already coming out from this, apparently, so...
Yeah, the source code for Gwent already leaked.
Yeah, they're like, we have the source code for the Witcher 3, the new version of the Witcher 3 that was going to be for the next-gen consoles, Gwent, this Cyberpunk, I think the older Witcher games as well. Like, they said they had everything relevant that CD Projekt has done in the last 10 years.
So 2 games, got it.
Uh-huh, yeah, that's correct. Moving on, Guilty Gear Strive's open beta details came out, like, after we podcasted last time. It's February 18th through the 21st. You get it a day early if you pre-order. Every character is playable, so that's 13, with the exception of Angie Mito and whatever the final character is going to be.
Oh, it's 11.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. It'll be a weird clone character that has all the moves they took out of the normal characters for this game. And features a training mode, versus tutorial and online with the new rollback. And of course, you can't like check connections because they want to try out literally everything. This seems like the best beta of a fighting game I've seen in years, just in terms of options it's providing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of them been like, yeah, you can play offline versus
or tutorial.
Yeah.
That's
the
crazy.
amount of like fighting game content creators going, wow, it's like I'm not being tortured for once.
It's like they're trying to get people to play this game so they sell some copies.
Mm-hmm. And they're not doing it. The worst thing betas can do, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then there's going to be one at 10 a.m. till 1 p.m.
Wow, this is like a reasonable beta. I guess I'll log in.
Yeah,
Hello and welcome to the Wobby system.
No.
Yeah!
God, if the lobby system was hosted by Charlotte, that'd be pretty good.
I wish.
In the next Arxis fighter, the lobby system will just be Dobo's pinball machine. Time to like poke his head over the table and see him.
Stop it. Stop that one. Not a fan. They put out some footage of matches. Yuki, the vampire samurai man, they were insane. Making this dude where he has a blood meter that if you max it out, he takes off his cool cyber mask. His sword glows, And even if you block his heavy hits, it still does like a tenth of your health.
Oh,
And he just rips your health apart. The downside, his health just starts falling. Like fast. Like he will be dead in 15 seconds.
Yeah, so Turbo Ragna.
huh.
Yeah, that looked pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're putting
The
out new
character-
tutorial videos daily until this beta starts, so you get to really see all the moves for all the
Yeah.
characters.
They gave the one dude, is it Axel, the one dude with the bandana with like the little chain weapon?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah. They gave him time stop.
Yeah, he's always been a time traveler, so that makes sense.
So he just pops it, and you can just be a far away, and then you just run up and hit someone and just combo off of it. And it seems like the most degenerate thing I've ever seen in a fighting game.
I have to wonder how they'll balance that.
I don't think they will. And it looks like it's something you just burn meter for, and you just have it, and then you can pop it. Shit looks crazy. Yeah, I'm excited for this beta to actually try out the netcode compared to the horrible experience I had trying it last time when it was on delay and their lobby didn't work. I got like 2 matches in an hour, and then I left. I was like, that's all I can really deal with for now. All right, my last bit of news. We had the Final Fantasy XIV event where they were going to reveal new stuff. Originally, they were going to do this, I think, at the end of last year, but, pandemic pushed it back. They finally revealed the new expansion, Endwalker, not Foregoner, as we thought it might be called.
Shame.
This is, it was announced. It's coming out this fall. It's going to conclude the story stuff they've been doing for the past, 10 years in that game. New locations will include the Empire in that game, the Garlemald. Some new area I did not list because I didn't want to attempt to pronounce it. It's a cool island place where all the dancer classes come from. Also the moon.
Nice.
We're finally going to the moon. This is something they've been teasing for 6 years, where there is a cutscene in 14 where bad guys monologue, then they cut back and you're like, oh, they're talking on the moon. All right. So we're finally having that happen.
This is important.
It's so fucking important. Every reaction video I've seen, because the CG trailer starts looking at the moon, people are like, it's happening. Here we fucking go. We've got 2 new jobs. They haven't shown off they haven't shown off one of them, but Yoshi P, the director, took off one of his shirts, and his next shirt had Necromancer on it, so it looks like we might just get that as a scythe wielder. But the one they did show is a new healer called Sage. They showed it by having one of the main characters of the actual story appear with Gundam bit/funnels that just started shooting up a giant monster, and it looked really cool. And they're like, we're looking at the live chat now. Yoshi P, a lot of people are saying that looks like Gundam. And he just pointed at his current shirt that said, no comment about this. And then everyone's like, of course it's Gundam. They gave you a robot that does the exact same pose as this Double Zeta a couple of patches ago.
I look forward to KZ, to you joining a group to do a thing, and then somebody is playing that class and has every ability macroed to have their character yell, fly my fangs.
Oh, yeah, that's good. If I ran that would be me. I would just do that. This seems really exciting. They showed off one of the bosses they're going to do is Anima from Final Fantasy X. And they got the original artist who made that for 10 to come back and make a 14 rendition of it to make it work. They did heavy teasing of their next Golden Saucer minigame, because that's where you have all the fun stuff. They got scratch tickets, Chocobo Racing, Triple Triad. And given how much they've talked about it, they may in fact finally put Blitzball into this game. And make it a team sport you play with people. Which I lost it because they're like, what's the chat saying this is going to be? Blitzball, 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 Fall Guys, Blitzball.
There's no way you can make Blitzball actually feel good.
Of course not, but at least it's a fun thing I can do with all of my friends.
Yes, I'm not saying it won't be funny. But
yes, it will be. People just want it, all right? I want it real bad. It'll be so great.
We're also
but
adding
yeah.
Connect 4 to the Golden Saucer. Yes!
Yes, let's fucking do that. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. They're not doing a crossover raid event this time. Last couple times they've done that, where it's like this one is about Ivalice and like Final Fantasy XII and tactics stuff, and the one in Shadowbringers is Nier, and it's just a Nier Automata sequel entirely that has the Soul Calibur version of 2B in there because Yoko Taro's insane. This one, they're doing it based on like some of the actual lore and story of the world this time, because this is the first time they are going to finish the entirety of the main story within the expansion itself. Usually they have a couple patches to do some last little sections. They're finishing this off, and the story will be completely unique going forward with like a new arc and stuff. And it sounds
Welcome to the Bount arc.
It did, yeah. We will finally get their version of the Bount arc, and they're like, okay, the expert raid that isn't 24 people at once is seemingly going to be the main villain of A Realm Reborn, who has been dead for 6 years. Will be coming back through pandemonium, just like the Emperor from Final Fantasy II. So you may just go into hell and fight him. So I'm very excited for that, because just like the Emperor, he jobs really hard. It's not great. That's all the stuff they showed for that. They're going to show more in May. Rest of the jobs, other content and stuff. The CEO of Square Enix came out because this is their big moneymaker, so he just always appears now to pat his son on the back for a good job. And said, here's the PS5 version. It'll be launching April 13th alongside patch 5.5, which the CEO leaked early because he did not know they hadn't announced it yet. Which I'm willing to believe is real, because both of them looked scared. Like, I'm like, this is either convincing acting. They looked very exhausted. 4K support, good frame rates. The loading times look insane. Something you can't achieve on a computer. As someone who's played it with an SSD, that shit was instant.
Yeah, I was looking at that footage. It was like 3 seconds, which is nuts for an MMO.
Usually you stay maybe 7 or 8 seconds on that text that says what the location is.
Yeah,
Here they rush you in. Free upgrade if you have the PS4 version. So if you're playing on an account that's like it plays on PS4, it's like you just get this. And yeah, it's really exciting. Like, they are really going all out for this stuff. So I'm super, super excited.
It seems like a really great time to get into Final Fantasy XIV. And a great time for me to play my first MMO other than Final Fantasy XI.
I mean, yeah, they got that free trial. The PS5 version is going to be sharp. This is the one MMO where they're like, let's make it work with controllers really decently enough, except for chatting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole game is revolved, like they designed it from the ground up to be made with a controller, so it works really well.
Cool.
Yeah, with all the buttons and stuff. I was slowly starting to realize this is like one of my favorite like series in general at this point, because they just do so well with the music they've already put out. It's already so good. That composer can't miss. He even knows what bands to take from. It's great.
Yeah, it's true. Immaculate taste in American music.
Yes. That's all my news.
Okay. Well, Phil, we are not ending on that final bullet, so take that out right now.
What do you mean? That needs to end on that.
Okay, Jack Black will be Claptrap in the Borderlands movie. This movie is shaping up to be fucking horrible. I'm so excited.
This is shaping up to be something you pay $5 for our commentary track.
Yeah, this is going to be cursed, like, extremely. That's exciting.
I think there was a thing saying that Jamie Lee Curtis may also be in this.
Oh.
Let me double check. Yes.
All right.
She's playing the character Dr. Tannis.
Okay. This movie is...
I don't know who that is.
This movie is going to lose so much money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't think people realize it's just going to be idiot Mad Max.
Idiot Mad Max.
Time for the funniest story of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The developer of Terraria
Oh, no.
lost access to their Google account and could not started getting the runaround from Google support and could not give it back. And then they went, Google has convinced me they're the worst company in the world, so the Stadia port of Terraria is canceled. Terraria, by the way, has sold like 35 million copies. Kind of a big game.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
It still has like a surprising amount of concurrence on Steam. This also wasn't an announced game for Stadia, so this was something that was being worked on that is now just dead. we learned it as it died.
Good.
This is like if Sony didn't help Kojima with his TV, so he canceled Death Stranding.
If his TV was all embracing internet access, then yes.
I got so angry just reading it. Where it's my account's been disabled for 3 weeks. I've lost access to thousands of dollars of apps on Google Play. I bought Lord of the Rings in 4K and I can't finish it. My Google Drive data is gone. My YouTube channel's gone. My Gmail account of 15 years is gone.
Oh, what a
also his
nightmare.
YouTube channel for Terraria apparently got suspended.
Yeah, it got suspended out of nowhere after years of not uploading anything.
I swear to God, Google is a nightmare. And every time I see these shitty fucking Silicon Valley articles talk about how good of a job they've done automating their processes, this is all I ever think of. All I ever think of is somewhere out there right now, someone's life is being ruined completely at random, and there's nothing they can do and no way to contact anyone who can help.
Yeah, there's no real people that you can get a hold of, which is insane.
Yeah.
And you can tell this person was pissed. They switched search engines to DuckDuckGo.
Yep.
I don't even know what that is.
I know what that is, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
This isn't really a news story, but but there's like a bunch of BioWare on the episode this week, also the next story, so I want to talk about it. PC Gamer, I think it was, did an article where they talked to ex-BioWare devs and had them go, yeah, we hated Mass Effect 3's ending when we were making it, but nobody there listened. They were convinced. They all wanted to be promoted so they would hear no complaints about anything.
Corporations are great.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact, like, this convinces me more that the new Mass Effect is just going to walk that back, because for years you weren't allowed to say this. Like, if you were in the media, you had to pretend that was great. Yeah, and that everybody who said that they didn't like that was a racist or whatever.
They're really entitled. Now please read my article about how Japan should change their content to suit my culture.
Yeah, it was really
It was
some of the worst times for game journalism. Luckily now we just don't even look at it.
It was a great era in gaming journalism, that's for sure. And they're flourishing now because of it.
You know what? I love flourishing xenophobia.
So does Polygon. Crash 4 is getting a next-gen update March 12th. It's free if you owned it and save data transfers.
Yay!
I may get that since I didn't play the original. That looks, the screenshots they did of that look good. Also, the Switch port surprisingly didn't look like a nightmare because they
changed the style
cell
instead
shading
of down crushing
it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, like they made it generally look a little bit different in certain ways.
This is really important because, one, that game still takes forever to load on the PS5.
Yeah.
Like, it's still nowhere near as fast as it should be. And two, it runs smooth now, but its resolution's still really blurry. So this is definitely appreciated. I'm really looking forward to this for sure.
I'd like them to do it to Tony Hawk, but now I don't think it'll happen.
I'm sorry, Bob. The dead can't develop.
Yeah, I know. It's really sad.
Clearly, there was no Tony Hawk 1+2 that happened. I mean, Dan was just messing around with Tony Hawk 2 on Dreamcast. That's what you've been thinking you played.
It looked so sharp, you thought it was a next-gen remake.
Okay.
But in fact, it was just the Dreamcast HDMI.
Yeah, because if they had some successful Tony Hawk remaster, they wouldn't have gotten rid of Vicarious Visions and put them on a Blizzard thing.
Yeah, that would be fucking stupid.
Yeah, so clearly that just didn't exist. Dan's top 10 was a top 9.
And now the not quite as funny as the Terraria thing, but I think this is still a delightful story. This week, not the week you're hearing this, is past. You live in the future. EA decided the fate of Anthem. Anthem has had 30 people working on it for about a year and a half, in hibernation mode. They have been working on the reboot, whichever form that will take, whether it will be like
Anthem
a new,
next.
yeah, we don't know what form that would take. They floated every single possibility. But they had meetings this week to decide whether to just shut down development of Anthem, it's over, or triple the team to 90 to put it into full development. For context, Warframe has 250 people working on it, and Destiny 2 has over 300, and that's support in making new content, not doing that, and also remaking the entire fucking game. So it feels like neither option it seems like Anthem is doomed regardless of what they pick.
Oh no, when they triple his team size to 90, they'll be overworked insanely, and the product will be really bad still.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's literally what I just said. There's no winners here.
Yeah, no, there's no winners, but one will get a release. I thought you were saying that it just wouldn't happen.
If you take the red pill, you die. If you take the blue pill, it tastes like berries, and you die.
Yeah.
Oh, berries.
I really hope they kill Anthem, because I am cautiously, not even out of cruelty, not out of field brand cruelty TM. I am cautiously optimistic for Mass Effect 4 and Dragon Age 4. That optimism is instantly gone if they, of course, pull people off those games for this new Anthem team. Because they're not going to hire more people. It'll be people that are already at BioWare that will be removed from other projects. That game will just be a tumor, completely smothering any possibility of that studio ever making anything anybody likes ever again.
Yeah, no, I can't see Anthem being anything but a millstone. It seems crazy they would even consider continuing with it.
There has to, and this is what any sane person would be like, no, kill it. Just it's a money hole. But you just know there has to be at least one executive that's like, games as a service, though.
Yeah, we don't have any games like that. We know how good those games do. It's like,
do you?
Yeah, just do Dragon Age with that.
Oh God, we didn't have the news article about it, but didn't Ubisoft say they were shifting all their development to games as a service or something like that?
God, did they?
Oh God, did they? Now I have to check.
Bob, you may be trusting the words of Linus Media Group, and I advise you to research things yourself before you repeat what they say.
I like how you're some weird ghost.
Ooh.
Now you're gonna tell him to return the slab.
Return the slab. Mike Mate needs to stream PS2 games that he's bad at. What is this he's even playing right now?
What are you doing?
I'm waiting for people to research it. What's it?
I found it. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It says they want to shy away from repeatedly releasing AAA titles and focus more on long-term support for older releases and free-to-play games. That sounds like they're shifting forwards.
Yeah, that's a focus towards microtransactions for sure.
Okay. There's not going to be any run back from Ubisoft. Apparently there wasn't a run back from fucking Activision like we thought there was.
Right. Oh man.
How depressing.
Yeah, sad.
Well, that's all the news. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Dan.
You're playing Grab by the Ghoulies in the next week. And for really unlucky, we're also going to be playing Gex 1 through 3.
No, don't play them yet.
In one day.
Give me a week.
Hey, KZ, what are you doing?
Begging you to give me a week before Gex, but aside from that, working on some video stuff and streaming some more, maybe getting through Final Fantasy before it gives me a stroke.
I don't know, it's a race to the finish.
I'm still giving that game like an 8, but wow, what the fuck? You live like this?
Hey, Phil, what are you doing over the next week?
Maybe I'll be 1/10 through Dragon Age Inquisition by the end of next week, after streaming it for 20 hours.
Ugh. God, I feel so bad for you because I remembered I'm going to play Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. That's a game full of light. I'm going to ignore the other thing I have to play.
Yeah.
I just saw a great tweet from Bing and Wendy's burning each other on Twitter with sick roasts.
Congrats on being the #1 search engine site that comes up when people misspell Google. # National Roast Day.
Okay.
I hate Twitter brand accounts.
Hey, it could be worse. Could be a Microsoft tweet.
What was it? There was some tweet earlier this week where it was just a nightmare. It was like every single brand all in like a cluster.
Why?
It was that fucking Weetabix tweet.
Wait a second. So both of these Microsoft accounts, one of them's Bing, one of them's Edge, they both just tweeted at Wendy's to roast them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us free
What
PR.
Oh my God.
They need it.
That's so sad. So about how Microsoft needs a new social media manager. You should hire KZ.
Ugh.
Hello.
Yes, KZ would make nightmares, but they would still be better than what they.
They would also trend better. It'd be like the official Xbox account won't stop tweeting about Kazooie being pregnant.
Oh man, I would immediately go, Zorro. They gave me a budget. We're about to ruin some lives.
Keep cranking them out.
It's Zorro, draw what's in the fridge.
Zorro, please, if you have some extra time, just do it anyway.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support the GB Podcast Network, head on over to patreon.com/GB Podcast so that way you can get exclusive behind the scenes on stuff, other content. There's a lot of content. It's basically non-ending avalanche of content. So head on over there, become a $5 backer or a Podlord today.